Hello YouTube, Dave Milliken here. Today I'm going to teach you how to play an acoustic version of Is She Really Going Out With Him by Joe Jackson. If you'd like to see my version, there's a link in the description below. You can check that out. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the key of the song. I do it a semitone higher than Joe Jackson, and I'm going to show you why. It has to do with the bass line in the song. So that iconic bass line starts on a B flat. And if we want to reproduce that bass line on the guitar, we almost can. If we were able to tune that down to an E flat. A better idea is to move the whole thing up a semitone, like this. We start on a B. Now we've got the whole line, semitone higher. If you want to put it back in the key of B flat, just tune your guitar down a half step. E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat, and then it'll sound the same as Jackson's version. So I will show you every part of the song, the intro, the verse, the chorus, the bridge, and the ending. But let's start with that bass line that's in the verse and how we combine that with the chords to get a full sound. You're moving through a series of 4 chords. B, which I'm playing like this, but you could also use a standard B bar chord. F sharp, A, again I'm just using a little bar there, but you could play a standard A chord if you want, open A, and then E. So we're incorporating those chords with that bass line that we heard before. You do the bass note here, then the second and third strings, then back to that bass note, then to the F sharp, same thing, bass note, second and third strings. This time when we come back, it's the 4th fret of the E string that we want to go to, the G sharp, which takes us to the next chord, A, the bass note, the 2 strings, the bass note again, the bass note of the E, the 2 strings. This time we hit them twice. And then the final F sharp, 2nd fret of the E string, which is going to take you back to start over. So here it is, slowly with rhythm. You can palm mute that, meaning just touching the strings there to give them a bit of a muted sound. A bit faster. So that's the pattern for the verse. Let's circle back now to the intro. It starts on a D sharp minor 7 here. And then I play an E sus2. I think Joe Jackson, they're actually playing an E major there. And F sharp 11, which is just the first finger across all 5 strings here. So the rhythm is like this. So after you land on the F sharp 11, you just hit the bass note, and then you're doing this pattern, melodic pattern, which is the 3rd finger playing the 11th fret of the thinnest E. Just take an upstroke there to get those notes. Then you take the finger off. You're getting what's under the bar, the 11th fret, the 9th fret, and then put the pinky on to get the 12th fret of the B string. That's again an upstroke, and then back to that ninth fret of the E string. So that melody, and in context again. So from the beginning. So now we're into the pattern for the verse. You do that twice before the vocal comes in. Pretty women out walking with gorillas down my street. So it's, one time where you're singing and then a second time where it's just instrumental. You do that 4 times to get through the verse. And that last time, you're going to change the ending a little bit. It goes... So that is palm muting again, but I'm coming off. So it's gradually becoming a bigger strum there to signal the entry of the chorus. So that last line, she's married now or engaged to something, so I'm told. And then that's the beginning of the chorus. The chorus, you're moving through a series of chords. E. This wacky character is F sharp over B. So B bass note, and the remainder of the chord is an F sharp. That's for out with him, going to a B chord, bar chord. I then slide that up to the 7th fret for the E. Is she really gonna? This is a D sharp minor 7, the same chord from the beginning of the intro. Take him. G sharp minor, F sharp, E. Is she really going? Another cool chord here. This is F sharp over G sharp, meaning an F sharp chord, but with a G sharp bass note. With him. This is a G sharp minor. 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, that's an E, F sharp. So here it is in context, just from that build. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Back to your verse. Let me play that a bit slower without the vocals. So you'll repeat the verse and the chorus, and then you'll be heading into the bridge, which is a lot like the intro, from the verse pattern. This is that D sharp minor 7, E sus2 or E major, the F sharp 11. This time you'll just keep strumming it and move to a G sharp 11. Same bar, but now at the 11th fret. Okay, so that's going to sound like this. But it looks good, kid. There's a man there who's marked down as dead. And you play this through 3 times. Yeah, 'cause I've had my fill. Listen, you take your hands from her head. I get so come back to this chord, the F sharp 11, and then the G sharp 11 again, and then the F sharp 11 with that part we learned from the intro. So I'll just start at the end there. Hey, hey, hey. Verse pattern. Is she really into your chorus? So after the last chorus, we're back to the verse pattern, but there is a tricky bit that they throw in. You could just continue to do it the normal way, but if you want the tricky bit, this is what it sounds like. It's this triplet on the bass note of the A. When you combine that with the chord, you have to do bass, bass, chord, bass. And in context, and that goes along with what he's singing. Something going wrong, something going wrong. Something going wrong around here. Something going wrong around here. Something going wrong around. And it has that sort of unfinished ending. Wrong around. Where you're just going to strum the E. And the song's done. I hope you have fun learning it.